Whispers of the Earth, Myanmar and Thailand's Day of Tremors. The Earth does not speak in words, but in tremors, in the violent shuddering of stone and soil, in the silent screams of shifting plates. And on the fateful afternoon of March 28, 2025, the Earth spoke with a force that shattered lives, toppled cities, and left entire communities trembling in the wake of its wrath. It was a serene midday in Myanmar's Sagaing region. The streets bustled with vendors calling out their wares, children played in courtyards, and workers toiled under the golden sun. Unbeknownst to them, beneath their feet, deep within the Earth's crust, pressure had been mounting for centuries. Then at precisely 12:50 p.m. local time, the ground roared, a monstrous groan from the depths of the planet. It was as if the Earth itself had let out an anguished cry before tearing itself apart. What followed was unthinkable. The first jolt arrived like a giant's fist slamming into the land. A magnitude 7.7 earthquake ripped through the region with merciless force. Buildings wavered, their foundations crumbling as though they were made of paper. Roads twisted and cracked open, swallowing vehicles and homes whole. Bridges collapsed into rivers, leaving stranded travelers screaming for help. The mighty Irrawaddy River shuddered as its waters leaped in furious waves, flooding the banks and washing away entire settlements. Mandalay, Myanmar's second-largest city, bore the full force of the catastrophe. Ancient temples, which had stood resilient for centuries, crumbled in mere seconds, their golden spires crashing into clouds of choking dust. Marketplaces turned into mass graves as stalls toppled over one another, burying vendors and customers alike. Residential buildings, once symbols of security, folded inward like houses of cards, leaving thousands trapped in the rubble. Within minutes, over 1,600 souls perished, and thousands more lay injured, their cries merging into a chorus of desperation. Airports fell silent as runways split apart. Highways were rendered impassable by landslides, cutting off entire regions from aid. Hospitals overflowed, their halls lined with the wounded and the mourning. And amidst the wreckage, rescue workers fought against time, digging with their bare hands, calling out names, listening desperately for even the faintest signs of life. But Myanmar was not alone in its suffering. The shockwaves surged outward, reaching across borders, shaking Thailand's very foundation. In Bangkok, a city adorned with towering skyscrapers and neon-lit streets, the tremors arrived like an invisible tidal wave. Windows exploded, sending shards of glass raining onto the frantic crowds below. Buildings, once thought to be unshakable, swayed violently, their steel frames groaning under the strain. A 33-story, high-rise under construction, succumbed to the forces of nature, collapsing in a thunderous cascade of steel, concrete, and dust, trapping 47 laborers inside a coffin of twisted metal. Panic seized the city. Sirens wailed as emergency teams scrambled to pull survivors from the wreckage. Families searched frantically for missing loved ones. The streets, once filled with the vibrant hum of daily life, were now littered with debris and the echoes of unanswered cries for help. Even in distant provinces, tremors cracked temples and sent landslides tumbling down mountain slopes, burying villages under an unforgiving blanket of rock and earth. As the dust settles and the long road to recovery begins, this tragedy will be remembered, not just for its destruction, but for the unyielding strength of those who faced it, for the hands that pulled others to safety, for the voices that called out in the darkness, refusing to be silenced. The earth will shake again, as it always has and always will, but so too will the indomitable spirit of those who refuse to be broken.